everyone, this is James from TDB bringing you another Inbetweenisode. Today I am doing a little bit of a different Inbetweenisode. I am going to be looking at my stash, and I'm going to be doing this via the my.tdb.org app that Denny created. So I've been waiting to record something here. Especially my in-betweenisodes, I pre-record those quite a bit in advance oftentimes, just because I like to batch them all together. So I'll film them over the course of a week or two. I'll film 10 to 20 of them in a relatively short amount of time. And so Denny was updating the app so frequently, I wanted to kind of let it settle. So why am I confident that it's now settled? Well, Denny and his wife have a new child, and so I am somewhat confident that he's not going to have the time and the bandwidth to do it. So we're going to take a look at the app. We're going to take a look at some of my teas here, my stash. It's a cool way to do things. We're not going to get full data on everything about exactly how much I own and how much it costs, but I'm going to give you the rough idea of teas that are in my stash. So the first things first, you can go to my.tdb.org. And you can do this regardless if you use the app or not. I've been using it, and it's quite useful to track sessions. I like it because you're able to do it very quickly. My image for kind of the ideal tea app was always something like Letterboxd for film nerds out there. Just a quick way you can write a lot, or you could write a little, or so it's really something that you can use a little or a lot. So that's kind of been the feedback that I've given Denny, is kind of pushing it towards an image like that. And of course he's in charge, so he can take my feedback for what it's worth. But I think it's actually quite a cool app as is. So you can see here that you could see a bunch of different, like what teas, stats, stuff like that. My database, so sessions is probably how I usually use this. I'm not logged in, so I'm incognito. So I wanted to just show you kind of what this would look from the outside in. So you can see here, you have Denny here, and then you have me right here. So you can see all the different sessions that I have here. So this is just what I logged. I haven't logged my sessions yet today. So click on all sessions. You just get a really quick little list here. I personally, so you could do the tiered view, which is what I like. You can also convert this to table, which is the view that I tend to default towards. My defaults are not saved because I'm going incognito right now. But you can see here that I usually don't log significant notes on these, but it's a way to just see what different teas you've had, see which producer it is, kind of give the quick rating of the session. Obviously, not every time the same teas are going to end up with the same rating. So that's cool. But really what we're going to be talking about today is the stash. So there's a couple different ways to look at this. There's the stash, and then we'll be talking about lists as well. So stash is something where it's like, okay, you can see all the different teas in my collection. So I have a lot of teas, probably too many, frankly speaking. And some of the teas, I am happy that I own them. In fact, I'd say the vast majority I am. But there are definitely some teas that I have bought too much of that are definitely closer to the tuition category here. But you could break it down here. I have added samples as well, so those are things that I don't necessarily own too much of, but I'm not going to log a sample for 10 grams or something. So it's something that might be like a cake split or something along those lines. So you could look at full purchase only. So these are things that I own more of, and you just see the full list here of things I have. I haven't even bothered to log my ripe yet. The stash there is a little bit more limited, so that's one of the reasons there. But you can just see that throughout here. So if I wanted to just see dye, I type in dye here, and you can see, I have the 2006 0622. That's a purchase from about 10 years ago. A lot of my purchases are about a decade ago, plus or minus 2 or 3 years. That's when I did probably the bulk of my buying. These days I'm not buying tea in huge bulk quantities as I was at that time of buying tongs or whatnot. It's been a while since I bought an actual tong. So yeah, you can see here dye 0622, dye 7542 2010, dye 2008 7542, and then here you have the 7742, the 8582, and so a bunch of different teas here. You can also plug in Shagwan and see here. Or if you're curious about, what BN how does James own? Here you go, 2004, 2005. And then if you want to expand that to all teas, you can see I have a sample of the 2004 Bienhao Yiwu 2. So yeah, that's really cool. And you could just see kind of the variety of teas that are added here. So you could do that. You can also make your purchases kind of private. You can also add the dollar per gram, just so you can track how much dollars you're spending per session and that kind of thing. And it's all really fun for data nerds such as myself. I mean, I was tracking a lot of this stuff anyways, but I really like the layout of this. I think it's laid out really cool. You can see the rating distribution here. So yeah, this is kind of ending up being a tour of the app, but it's quite neat for sure. So yeah, that's the stash that I have there. Okay, maybe the stats is not available if you're not logged in. And you can also see the list here. And this is something that I'm going to probably continue to create some and evolve, and just different things that I've thought of. So you can see boutique bangers. So these are kind of some of the more pricey ones. I try to make an effort to try one of my pricier boutique teas once per week. And so this is kind of the current list that I'm working off of. Some of these teas have actually gone down in my estimation after I've been able to try them multiple times. So that's kind of interesting. And other teas have remained the same. I would say things like the BYH and the Chen Yunhao and Tongqinghao Rib Production have remained probably the highest in my memory. Whereas stuff like the Zhuang and maybe some of these YQHs, a little bit lower in my estimations than they would have been maybe a year ago or so. So yeah, that's a list. You could also see factory dailies. So these are just kind of daily drinker type teas that I will drink through. So one way I could envision using this too is to just load up this list, and that way I don't need to pull out a lot of stuff, because I have a lot of teas. So it's like pulling out different things, trying to track on which teas are there. It's nice to have everything just laid out real easily, just like this. Factory dailies, and then you can see things I have in tong quantity, so 2.5 kilos. Again, quite a few. Not everything is something I would necessarily recommend, but nonetheless, the data is there if you're interested. Yiwu daily drinkers, so stuff that I can treat a little bit more nonchalantly, whether it's because the quality isn't so good or just because, I have enough of it that who cares. So yeah, there you have it. That's the way, and this is all public facing. So you can go ahead, check that out on my.tdb.org. All you got to do is go into tea drinkers, and then you can do the same for Denny. And Denny's particularly interesting because he started to accumulate tea a lot just this year. And so he's really kind of gone full nerd out as far as Pu'erh goes. And so he will log stuff just a little bit differently than myself. You can see he's better about logging his different ripe here. And here is all of his raw. And so, yeah, it's pretty neat. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know how you have been using Denny's My.TDB app. I think it's been really interesting just to follow different people and see how different people are using it. So yeah, let me know what other content related to this you'd like to see. It's kind of a new way to show different content, so trying the old screen capture. And thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all next time. Cheers.